All righty, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down. Welcome back to another 500. You can see it has thinned out quite a bit. It always does towards the end of the game. The noobs either drop out or get eaten. So we're now down to the hard bitten soldiers sitting eating popcorn at our computers. All right, so this is going to be fun. So the way I'm going to record this video is I'm going to go ahead and flip to attack here. I'm still moving some guys around, but I don't think it's anything super important. Oh, 3 cannon. That's a little bit of overkill there. I thought that I'd split those cannon up and sent them up here, but maybe that something misclicked or something. But wow, this is going to be overkill down here, but that's okay. 3 cannon can help wherever they are needed. Oh, so it looks like good for you, man. Gascoigne is coming in to attack. Anybody who ends up attacking, any of my allies who end up attacking and winning, I'm happy to do that. Happy for that to happen. But we just need this island, and frankly, I'm the only person. I would trust Sydney too, but I'm the only person I trust to build lots of airfields all over it so it can act as a bridge. Something I did want to tell my alliance mates, and I'll tell them, via chat as well, is that there is now an airfield here and an airfield here, which I've measured, I think, to be the shortest distance between the two. Unfortunately, all I have down here right now, I've been building fighters, so I don't have a bomber that I can try to jump across that. Like the graphic will show you the arc of the whether if it can actually reach, it'll show you that arc. So anybody who's down here, especially Gascoigne here, who's got bombers, I'd say, man, just drag. You don't even have to send it there. Just drag it to see if that will happen, if that will actually work. Because I can still try to build one between here, and maybe we could try to build one between here and here. It'd be great if we could jump. That all that time in the ocean, I've been just sending them via this little island here, and they swim all the way there, and then they island hop on up. So anyway, I'm gonna build a bunch, but I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and flip to the attack, and then once I'm committed to the attack, I want you guys to be able to see what happens immediately, because that's kind of fun. And then I'm gonna pause the video and bring you back another round later, and then another round later, similar to what I did down below. So so that you can kind of see it happen without having to wait forever and ever in between. So here's how I'm going to attack. I've already decided I could just declare war. It'd probably be the best way to do it in terms of my world popularity. But what I really need to happen is I need these battleships to attack this railgun. That's what I need to happen. And if I just declare war, the AI, whatever it is that forces me to do stuff, will probably just attack the closest enemy, which could be this little stack here or whatever. I don't know. So here it goes, folks. Oh my gosh. I'm setting you to attack this railgun. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, it will let me declare war. So I guess there's no difference between attacking without warning and declaring war. That's another thing I'm not really sure about. So let's give the game time to catch up. Holy crap. Holy woo. Okay. So that railgun was in the middle of nowhere. He was just floating around, and he got taken out. That was really important to me for obvious reasons. Let me now back this guy out, because I don't want little infantry guys crawling all over my hull and causing me grief. I'm going to back him all the way out to where he'll just shell in against this double wood here. Let's see if anything else changed immediately. You can see the cannon I have positioned outside are now lobbing in. You can see my this is him. This is North Borneo. I don't know. I think I saw that and thought it was one of my allies, and I was like, oh yeah, great. There's a cruiser there. So maybe what I should do before I do anything else is go down and attack him. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take my 2 battleships down, and let's go ahead and attack him. He will be impossible to deal with otherwise. Now, it's not true, not impossible, because my cannon do outrange cruisers, but I don't have any cannon in the neighborhood. So let's see what else. Okay, immediate victory over here. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and send 20 of those off. let's see, to take this little, I don't need 20, just take 10 with that cannon. Let's take 10 over to grab this guy, bada bing. And I knew there were some empty ones over here who would go right away. There they are. I've got enough on there. I'm not worried about that morale. If you check, you'll see 10 guys is enough to make the chance of uprising 0. So I'll just leave them be for now, and I can shuttle them over somewhere else if I need to. This is my friend Gascoigne here, who's going to get a foothold on this continent as well. Or this is not a continent, island, I guess. And so there we go. You can see that the cannon are all lobbing in appropriately, as they should be. Little battles and skirmishes going on all over the place. They're like, my God, what's happening? For some reason, they sound like a Major League Baseball announcer. My God, what's happening over here? And it's a high ball drifted left. Oh, God, I can't do that voice. All right, guys. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Not the voice, but the attack. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and come back next round and see what's what. And poof, welcome back. For me, it's been several hours. I went to go see I can't remember the incredible weight of massive talent or something like that with Nicolas Cage. And it was pretty good. It was a fun movie. We had fun. Okay. So I just wanted to bring you back to see, for you, it's been a few seconds. For me, it's been several hours. And so we've had another turn or two. You can see everything is going swimmingly. Glad to see my friend Gascoigne here. Got a piece of the action, and wanted to show you a couple of really cool things. First of all, we haven't talked about it much, but let me show you this before it goes away. Not that it's in danger, but it's going in a minute. So in the new mechanics, bombers have to refuel. They run out of fuel, which I think is so cool. I love it. I've had to wait a few times for refueling, and I think it's really, really cool. Now, these guys did not have to refuel because I only sent them to a closer target. So I don't know where they're going now, but so let's just talk about a couple things. This is a good opportunity. So one of the new things about airplane mechanics is refueling. I love it. I love anything that makes this game more realistic, and that certainly does do that. It makes it much more believable and realistic. I just love that. And then here's the other thing. Cone dynamics. I did play in a beta game where we were testing Air Forces, but I started late in the game and I struggled to even get any Air Force at all. But what I understood is this. If you attack somebody, let's say I'm attacking this 29 stack. Why would I attack myself? I wouldn't, but let's just say I'm attacking this territory. And my planes are halfway there, or maybe even 3/4 of the way there, and I kill them using something else, or something changes, they leave. In the past, if you redirected your bombers to another attack zone, your bombers would have to fly all the way back to the base they came from, and then to the place that you designated. And people pointed out that's really dumb. Not only is that a pain in the butt, but it's unrealistic. You should be able to radio to your bombers and say, hey, your target has changed. It should really not be any more fuel to go here and then back down the same chain as it was to go here. So they came up with a great idea here. My understanding is that as long as you redirect your bombers to anything in the cone, then the game mechanics will allow you to fly straight there. So I don't think you have to follow roads, just like you don't have to follow roads like this. I think wherever you are in the sky, we're all learning about this. This is a new feature, but I'm loving it because, so another thing that people have done is, and what I do is I bloom my fighters. I split up my fighters, and if you've got 20 fighters that you're individually putting on patrol around, it's very intimidating looking. It's just a swarm of fighters. But the thing about that is, if you attack with a bomber in the old days, you could kill, let's say I have a stack of 10 bombers, you kill one of those fighters and then return. By the way, you wouldn't attack fighters with a bomber. That's a terrible idea. Let's say I have a stack of fighters. So, we've talked about this a little bit, but look at this. Your ability against other aircraft is terrible. You are designed to attack the ground. Your attack versus the ground is great, really powerful. But against other planes, it's just terrible. And then, of course, fighters just make you look ridiculous. If you look at a fighter here, their attack against other air is 4. 8 times that of bombers. So a single fighter can cause grief to a stack of bombers. But anyway, the point being here is that now, first of all, you can change course in the middle of an arc. I like that. Maybe you've already attacked and you're coming back. You still have that arc. You can direct it somewhere else. And then at some point, you won't be able to direct it somewhere else because you'll be out of fuel. So I'm not sure how that's going to look. But my understanding was the arc is for redirection so that you don't have to go all the way back to the base and then to the new target. We might put that into practice, test that in real time at some point. Right now, this guy is attacking to the north of the island, and I didn't have a lot in the north. What I figured was that I'll eventually move all of my land stuff up to the north here to finish off this opponent. And at that time, maybe, I was just looking, maybe jump over to here and begin my invasion of Asia here. I know that well, that's not a great idea because of my air. I've got a lot of air. At this point, I think 7 bombers and 5 fighters, so I definitely have to island hop them. Another thing I didn't really spend a lot of time on is the fact that North Borneo also owned this up here. So that's getting ready to, you know what's fun is sometimes when you're really close, you can double time them and it turns green on the spot. I love it. I don't know why that is, but when you double time, it takes some morale away from the stack per hour. But when they're that close, it doesn't really matter. So anyway, I'm taking over this island group. Let's see, am I already building? Yeah, I've already built this long since. And I've got a nice little tank stack moving across to capture the rest of these. I wonder if I don't want to, yeah, this guy's doing nothing. And so he's coming down to add a little bit of, whoa, you'd rather go that way. That's very interesting. I won't be needed there, but I'll help up here. There we go. So that's a stack of 3. I do have 9 destroyers and 2 battleships right now. So that's a nice little fleet. Something else that's happening here is that the rest of the fleet is moving up against the Spice Enjoyers. So Otago, of course, has a monster fleet. Sydney's in there as well, has a decent, really nice fleet. And so when I show up with my 9 cruisers and my 2 battleships, we will be a force to be reckoned with. So I may rake up the east side of this. Not sure. We haven't really talked about it. But it does look like they're punishing those Spice Enjoyers. They do need to be careful about any land-based bombers up here. Land-based bombers are dangerous. Now, what I've been told is that the best bang for your buck in anti-air is cruisers. Let's take a look at that. Cruisers have anti-air of, 1.5. That's not bad. You saw bombers had an anti-air of 0.5. I think infantry have an anti-air of like 0.1 or something, 1/10. So this is not bad. If you've got a stack of 10 of those, then you've got 15 anti-air. So I like it. Is there I just have to think that a battleship, let me go over to my battleship real quick. A battleship would be even better, but it's so expensive. Let's just see briefly. That's got to be 1.2. It really looks like 1.2. It cannot be 12. No, that's 1.2. All right. So 1.2, not as good as the cruisers. So I think that's really interesting. So yeah, a long time ago, I remember somebody telling me that cruisers were your best anti-air that you can get. They said by the dollar, but actually, no, it's even better than the more expensive battleship. So that's very interesting to know. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up because you can kind of imagine what's going to happen from here on out. These territories are almost finished. I've got cannon moving in from other locations to finish them off. So, and again, at some point, I'm going to start staging on this western point here. One other thing I have done is built airfields. So they're just starting all along this middle corridor here, which will allow me to have some bomber access over here. And of course, once I build oil fields over here and along, I say oil fields, God, airfields, then I can probably hop them over. But if not, I can certainly island hop them along up here. So again, things are going great. I'm loving this game. I try not to talk about whether we'll win or not because, we got some huge, devastatingly powerful enemies, but that's part of the fun too. If you go to my original 500 stack, it's called 500 Nation Army, and maybe go towards the end of it because it's fun, man. Like if you're not used to seeing 1,500 infantry and 40 cannon moving against 2 stacks of 1,000 infantry and 20 cannon with fighters overhead and bombers overhead and tanks in all the stacks. Go look at that because it's fun. And that's what we're going to have. We're going to have an old-fashioned ass whooping up here in Asia. And what my hope is that we can trounce the spice enjoyers, and if we can take enough territory to be a threat to some of the others, then that'd be great too. So we'll see what happens. Fun stuff all around. I will tell you, I invited North Zelu. I hadn't mentioned this. Invited him to our coalition, and we had some contact because I have 2 slots available in the coalition. And you'll notice he's no longer in part of the East Asia. So we should be having him join us soon. And that's my sincere hope anyway. And then we might look into asking this guy as well, because he is also I keep on doing that. Sorry, guys. The old mechanic, you clicked there to get this info. Yeah, he's unaffiliated also, and he's got 37. So honestly, by adding these 2 guys, 37, and then this guy had 44. So holy cow, between the 2 of them, they got, 80, 90. So really, if we add those 2, don't forget, like we're low on strength. We're 5 out of 7. We've got those 2 slots available. That would be pretty sweet. That would certainly kick us up in the rankings. Let's look at the provinces. We're doing okay in the rankings. We are in 4th place. But imagine if we had roughly 80 more. Like, man, that would put us well above the United South, in contention with the Mexican Empire. And then here's what I've tried to remind my friends. Trotter Independent Traders, they're close to us. And proximity-wise, there's some of them around us. But they're also close to us in province numbers here, but we are 32 ahead of them. And then Spice Enjoyers are all the way down here, who we're currently starting to get into some naval battles with. So this is all super fun. Like, not only do we have all the players here that we interact with and how we interact with each other, talk about where to conquer next, but then we also have these other coalitions that we interact with, and also interacting with other countries to maybe get them in with us. So there's so much to this game. It's such a fun game. I love it. Thanks for checking in. This was sort of my island capture situation. If you're in my coalition and you're watching this, please know, if you want one of these territories, I will gift it to you. I really didn't mean to hog this, but as I've mentioned in the past, I only trust myself to build oil fields, and honestly, Sydney probably would too. But a big part of this game, like it or not, is speed. We've got to get on to mainland Asia. We've got to do it quick, because every day, every enemy is growing stronger and stronger. So I do hate hogging all this. I honest to goodness do. But at the same time, I took it quick, and we need to take it quick. And then we need to do everything. Like all my allies need to probably be moving some significant material over to Asia so we could begin this land invasion. And I think I'll mention that in our diplomacy here when I get off. So thanks, guys, for checking in. This has been super fun. I'll see you next time. Adios, amigos.